Enfields can also be seen on the roads of Ladakh and is a common sight like Innovas. The road trips in a car is safe and comfortable. Road trips on a bike is a different experience altogether. You can literally feel the place you're moving through, and solo bike trips magnifies that feeling even more. Technically, Ladakh is a rain shadow area, which means either it doesn't rain at all, or if it rains so less that it's almost equal to none. But that's changing off lately. The 2010 cloudburst in Ladakh had claimed several lives and caused damages. July and August is when it rains in Ladakh, if at all. During my 9 days in Ladakh, I didn't come across any rain apart from some slight drizzling, even though I was there in the second half of July. Till now, all the points we covered were on the Srinagar-Leh highway: Dras, Kargil, Lamayuru, Nurla, Alchi, and now we are going towards Leh. This is a meeting point of the Indus River and Zanskar River. This is near Nemo, near to Leh, which is also called the Sangam. The confluence is not visible now, but when the water is clear, you can see the bluish Zanskar River and the greenish Indus River coming together. You can Google the pictures. This is also the endpoint of river rafting, kayaking and canoeing which happens over here. So how do you reach Ladakh? By road, as I mentioned earlier, there are two highways that enter Ladakh. One is from Srinagar and the other from Manali. Both roads are only open from May to September as it is covered by snow for the remaining months. From Srinagar, Leh is some 420 kilometers and from Manali, it's some 470 kilometers. Road from Manali to Leh has 5 high passes and the roads are usually in a bad state. Hence, reaching Leh from Manali in a day is almost impossible and not recommended. Reaching from Srinagar to Leh in a day is quite possible and there are share taxis that do it too. It takes some 12 hours and 3,000 rupees per person. You also get direct buses from Jammu, Srinagar, Manali and Delhi to Leh. By train, there is no connectivity to Ladakh as of yet, though there is a Srinagar-Kargil-Leh line in the plans and also the Bilaspur-Manali-Leh line estimated to cost some 83,000 crores. This will take a long time to be a reality. For now, you'll have to use a combination of rail and road travel. For entering from Srinagar, you can take a train to Jammu Tawi or Katra and then take a bus to Banihal and then a train to Srinagar and then again a bus or taxi to Ladakh. For coming from Manali, you can take a mainline train till Pathankot and then a train to Joginder Nagar, which is some 150 kilometers from Manali. From there, a taxi to Manali or bus to Mandi and then another bus to Manali and then finally a bus or taxi to Ladakh. I know, yeah. And then comes the easiest way to reach Ladakh, and that is by taking a direct flight to Leh. Leh is the only airport in Ladakh as of now, but a few other airports are in plan. Leh airport is a defense airport and hence commercial operations are only allowed till 12 pm. Photography is strictly prohibited on the airport premises. Reaching Ladakh by road has a benefit though. Since Ladakh is at an high altitude, you are bound to catch altitude sickness. Even if you don't, your body will still need time to acclimatize to the high altitude. In traveling by road, we are gradually reaching to the high altitude, which gives time to the body to be prepared for the high altitude, as compared to a flight that suddenly leaves you at an altitude of 3,500 meters. So we have reached Leh, and this road is called the Changspa Road, a famous road in Leh. This is the Shanti Stupa, a major attraction of Leh. It's usually crowded here. View from the Shanti Stupa is one of the reasons people visit this place. You get a bird's eye view of the Leh town from here. If you arrive by flight, then please make sure that you stay at your hotel for the entire day and take complete rest so that your body gets acclimatized to the altitude. The Hall of Fame is a museum that is constructed and maintained by the Indian Army. The museum is built in memory of soldiers who has lost their lives through the Indo-Pak Wars. A 30-minute light and sound show showcasing the Kargil War happens here. Three days a month, you don't get non-veg and alcohol in Ladakh. It's called dry days. And those 3 days are fixed according to the Tibetan calendar. One is the 8th day, others are the full moon and the new moon day. At night, it gets a bit scary to walk on the roads of Leh as it's completely deserted, especially if you're alone. The Ladakhi people are good, but the dogs here look a bit dangerous. We're on the way to the morning prayers at Thiksey Monastery, which is 16 kilometers from Leh. The prayers usually start at 6 in the morning and it takes almost half an hour to reach the monastery from Leh. This is the beautiful Thiksey Monastery and it's not even 6 am in the morning, but look at the sunlight. This is the entrance to the monastery. Just ahead of the red gateway there's a toilet and the view from there is amazing. I would say it's one of the toilets in the world that has the best views. Do take a piss there if you're visiting. Two young monks are getting ready to blow the telescopic trumpet called Dungchen. This is basically a prayer call and is blown before the prayer starts. It's said that the sound from the trumpet resembles the singing of elephants. I've just recorded it, let's hear it. You are very much allowed to sit inside the prayer hall to attend the prayers, and you'll also be served butter tea. There is a decent hotel and restaurant at the bottom of the monastery where you can stay if you want to comfortably attend the morning prayers. Almost all the monasteries are situated at a certain height from the ground level, and hence the views are beautiful. We are on the Leh-Manali highway now and heading towards the Hemis Monastery. Thiksey too falls on the Leh-Manali highway. One important thing to keep in mind is that prepaid SIM cards don't work in Ladakh, only postpaid does. So you won't even be able to get incoming calls if you're a prepaid user. BSNL and Airtel are the top network providers here. Jio has just entered and works pretty fine. BSNL is the most preferred network as it has good coverage throughout Ladakh, unlike Airtel and Jio, which has good coverage only in Leh and the surrounding areas. This is the Hemis Monastery of the Drukpa sect, very famous for the Hemis festival that happens every year in June-July. There is also a museum here where you learn about the 8 auspicious signs of Buddhist paintings, amongst other things.